Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Inside Elections. The date is Sunday, December 28th, 2025, and today we're going to be talking about this breaking news coming out of Maryland and how they might redistrict to give Democrats an 8-0 map. So this is breaking news, not breaking news. This on December 19th, about a week ago, about a week ago, a panel appointed by Governor Wes Moore made recommendations on a mid-cycle congressional redistricting vote behind closed doors to decide whether or not to move forward with implementing a new congressional map to give Democrats extra seats in Maryland, following to keep up with the current redistricting war that we are seeing play out nationwide. On last Thursday, it's Friday now, last week's Thursday, this commission that was, like I said, appointed by Governor Wes Moore, met and had a secret meeting and voted on these congressional maps and decided that soon they're going to solicit new maps from the public and hold 2 more meetings to further decide the future of this redistricting effort in Maryland. And Maryland is one of the few states that is iffy about redistricting. We've already seen states like California, Missouri, Texas, North Carolina permanently redistrict, but Maryland is different. Similar goes with Illinois and Indiana and Virginia. Their futures are not certain. This is not a certain future. It is just an update on what is happening in Maryland in the current redistricting war. Which, let's see, after Christmas, we will make the submitted maps available publicly and hold 2 additional public meetings. This means that the public is going to see the maps that are being put forward by this Democrat-led panel to decide the future of Maryland's congressional maps. Like I said before, this is after, weeks of back and forth of the redistricting effort in the state of Maryland. Keeps going back and forth. Governor Wes Moore is not too on board with it, but he's not against it either. Like I said, Governor Wes Moore suggests that the push for redistricting is not dead. He is not as pro gerrymandering as Gavin Newsom is in California, or as Greg Abbott is in Texas, or Donald Trump on the federal level. But again, he's not against it. He is open to the idea of gerrymandering the Maryland map even further because Republicans are gerrymandering the other maps because they gerrymandered the maps in Texas, Missouri, and North Carolina. So we can look here of the current state of the redistricting war. Democrats are guaranteed, well, pretty much guaranteed. They've gerrymandered an additional 5 seats out of the state of California for the Democratic Party. I should have started with Texas because this all started with Texas, but Texas is also gerrymandering 5 seats for the Republicans out of the state of Texas. These aren't the exact districts, but it just gives you the point. Democrats start out with Texas, and then I'm pretty sure it was Missouri next. Missouri redistricted and removed this Democratic district, split it up into like the other 3 Republican districts to splice out and get rid of Kansas City's congressional representation in Missouri. And shortly after that, or North Carolina might have came first, but Republicans also gerrymandered the North Carolina map even further. We can look at the current North Carolina map. It's already extremely lopsided. It's a 10-4 map for an essentially 50-50 state, a 51-49 state, and Republicans have a supermajority, and they gerrymandered this district, North Carolina's first. He's out. This is now a safe Republican district, even in an extremely red and in an extremely blue environment, which we are shaping 2026 to be. This district is gone. Same thing in Missouri. Missouri's 9th. It was a solid Democratic district. This is Kansas City in Missouri, that is. Missouri's 4th. and 6th and maybe the 3rd district. I'm actually not sure. The representation is split. They've created a new district to make this more Republican. It's safe for the Republicans. And same in Texas. They've gotten rid of Texas 34th, 28th, and I'm actually not sure the other ones, but there's 3 more that they've gerrymandered. Not to be as safe for the Republican Party as some of the other districts are, because it's almost going to be a dummy mander, which is where the gerrymander backfires into the face of the party that's doing it. It won't be like that all the way. Republicans are still going to net seats in the state of Texas, but maybe just not the 5 that they're hoping for. They might only get 3 or 4 of them, just because we're seeing Hispanic reversion, and the districts that they're gerrymandering out of the state of Texas are majority Hispanic districts, which moved to the right in 2024, but that shift is reversing. Republicans are not accounting for that. They just think that whatever is going their way is going to keep going their way when it's obviously not, looking at all the signs of 2026. So, Republicans are going to net seats in Texas, but just not by this huge margin. Okay. And real quick, Utah also, Utah's 4th, or actually might be the 1st. One of the Utah districts, Utah currently has a 4-0 map. One of these districts are going to a safe Democrat seat because the map was ruled by the Utah Supreme Court, or ruled by a federal court and upheld by the Supreme Court. I don't know, something like that in Utah. Something involving the Supreme Court in Utah is the Republican Supreme Court is upholding this new congressional map that gives Democrats a safe seat in the state of Utah for Salt Lake City, because this current one is unconstitutional. So that nets Democrats 1 seat. So right now, the state of the redistricting war is Democrats at 6 and Republicans at 7. Sorry. Okay. But if Democrats actually move forward with the redistricting in Maryland, because Maryland currently has a 7-1 delegation, it's a Democrat gerrymander. Nobody's arguing that. But to make up for the gerrymandering that Republicans are doing in Texas, Missouri, North Carolina, and Ohio, but Ohio's not going to really do anything. They made one Democrat district, one toss-up Democratic district, 2 or 3 more points more Republican. Democrats are going to hold on to that district. I have no doubt in my mind. Maybe in 2020, maybe in 2030, maybe 2028, probably 2030, maybe that'll have an effect and flip 1 seat in Ohio for the Republicans, but Ohio redistricted, it doesn't mean anything. We're just going to ignore that for now. But Maryland might redistrict. They're moving forward with redistricting in the state, and if they were to do that, how do I do that? Okay, I don't actually know how to do that in this, but Maryland would be 8-0 for the Democratic Party. Republicans would have no representation, and that would bring Democrats up to the 7-7. Just getting rid of the Republican gains that they've gotten from gerrymandering this cycle. It would be tied, and Illinois might redraw to give Democrats an extra seat. Virginia might redraw to give Democrats an extra 4 seats. We don't know if that's going to happen or not. Illinois probably won't happen. Be realistic. Indiana's trying to gerrymander for the Republicans, but the state legislature is holding out. The federal Republicans are trying to get Indiana to gerrymander the state, but it looks like it's not going anywhere right now. So yeah, that is the current state. This is an update on the redistricting war ahead of 2026. At the end of the day, it's probably going to come out even. One party might be 1 seat ahead. Democrats might come out a seat ahead. Republicans might come out a seat ahead if Democrats don't redistrict in Maryland. It's not going to be whatever happens by Election Day, which is coming up sooner than you think. It's less than a year from now until Election Day. It's not going to make a huge difference no matter what. It's going to be a 2 seat maybe difference. Nothing's going to really happen because of it. If anything, it's hurting Republicans' brand because people are seeing this on the news and they're saying Republicans are trying to gerrymander this, they're trying to gerrymander that, they're trying to gerrymander this. Democrats are gerrymandering back in retaliation to Republicans. So while they may not like what Democrats are doing, they see that Republicans are instigating it and that Democrats are fighting back. They are not trying to they're not trying to steal 2026 because Republicans know they are going to lose in 2026. They do. Okay, I need to wrap this up. I've been talking for too long. What are your thoughts? Do you think Republicans are going to come out ahead? Do you think Democrats are going to come out ahead? Do you think Maryland's going to redistrict? Do you think Virginia is going to redistrict? Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, subscribe if you're enjoying this video. I upload often comic suggestions for a video. I'll make them. And yeah, have a good day.